eThekwini Metro has condemned its eThekwini councillor for what it calls racist remarks. That's during a discussion to erect a statue in the city. Now, the municipality says it will investigate the matter. The discussion was over a statue to commemorate the arrival of indentured Indians to South Africa in November 1860. And for more on this, we are now joined by ActionSA's Zwakele Mncwango. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now, obviously, since this broke in the week, it's really caused outrage on social media. You were in that meeting and insist that it came from the ANC bench. Could you talk us through what played out on that day? And now that investigations are ongoing, what is it that ActionSA expects?
Yeah, greetings to you, Ntokozo, and the viewers at home. I must say, firstly, we were disappointed in the manner in which the speaker handled the matter, including the mayor himself, because the mayor is a leader of the ANC caucus and the leader of the council itself. What happened is during the debate on the statue, you remember the statue about 1860 and the arrival of Indian community in South Africa. So it's been an ongoing battle about the statue since 2010 till today. The province had to take back the money. It was allocated 4 million to the city. The city couldn't erect the statue. The province had to take money back. 14 years later, the matter is back on council for discussion. Obviously, yes, there are issues within the Indian community leaders about the nature of a statue, where some believe it should be a bell. Some say, no, it's an insult to use a bell. It symbolizes colonialism. They believe it should be a man and a woman eating sugarcane. There are different views, but it's not a matter in case for now, Ntokozo. The issue is during this debate, one of the ANC councillors, I heard, because I sit not too far from the ANC benches, shouted during debate and said Indians must go back to Bombay. So the speaker was called to this attention, and then the speaker tried to really downplay this issue, where we believe it's a racial comment. And I did raise another point of order to the speaker while he was trying to move on. I said, Speaker, you can't just move on. You need to investigate, establish who is this councillor, and that councillor must apologize and withdraw that statement because it is a racist statement. And the speaker didn't want even to allow that to happen. That is why we are saying then it then means the entire ANC don't really mean serious about social cohesion, because they talk about social cohesion, they talk about addressing the issues of racial discrimination, and it's unfortunate that Indian communities have been in this country for so many years, and they are South Africans, and they really played a big role in liberation of South Africans. And now to find that a leader, because a council is a leader, to find that a leader who should be the one championing social cohesion is the one really making such racial statements and comments, especially in a meeting such as a council meeting. It's unfortunate. That is why then we wrote to the speaker. I wrote to the speaker after he denied and declined to take action. I then wrote him formally. I asked him to investigate this matter. I told him it can't just ignore this matter and move on. We can't move on. This is a serious statement made by a leader in the municipality. So we believe there should be investigation. But I'm glad that finally the speaker have really accepted. I saw the statement. They finally now want to be investigating this matter. But we'll watch very closely. Because the silence from the ANC leaders when this was made, and most of them made a joke, and I felt very, very confused. How can leaders really see this as a joke? It's a very serious statement, and to show that ANC is not really serious about social cohesion, you look at their benches. They've got more than 90 councillors. In Durban, where Durban is really a place where you've got second biggest from India, population of Indians. They don't even have a single councillor from Indian community. It shows that actually ANC, that's how they see Indian communities. Because you ask yourself, why ANC wouldn't have one councillor, even from PR councillors from the Indian community? They don't care about this community.
Zwakele, so just taking it forward, as you said, the investigation is now ongoing, and clearly those racial issues needing to be dealt with. Once that councillor, does get suspended or does get fired, does it not speak to a deeper need to have real conversations around race relations in eThekwini going forward, where perhaps not just the ANC, but across the board?
No, it does. It does. Actually, as I said, when a leader makes such a statement, it tells you the deeper problem, because sometimes you will find it very maybe excuse when it's done by an ordinary South African. And unfortunately, as you are saying, we've seen this play out during unrest and the tensions between the Indians and Black Africans, which tells you there is a deeper problems. And as leadership, we should be leading that kind of a discussion and really look at solutions in terms of how we address this issue, especially in the province where there's been this widening inequality, where there is growing unemployment, and really you can see now there is persistent racial inequality as well. So which means there's a bigger reason why there should be an engagement, there should be debates. But the question is, who must lead these debates? Because it's clearly even politicians and leaders seem to be the ones who are dividing communities. As leaders, we should be the one leading unity, because we can only build this country when we are united. Then we can't be leaders that are dividing the country instead of uniting the country. And I think we've seen this identity politics playing around even during elections. You can see that even voters are voting along racial lines, because leaders are the one channeling voters to vote along those points of identity. So it must restart with us as leaders, so that the communities on the ground can take a cue from us as leaders. But I agree with you, Dogozo, there is a need for a deeper engagement, but also I think the ANC itself need to do some introspection to say, if they talk about the need for unity, the need for social cohesion, we really understand that there are leaders from Indian communities who played a big role in our struggle in South Africa. Now the big question is, they fought for this against racial domination, they fought against racial discrimination. Now, 30 years down democracy, they are being called and being told to go back to Bombay.
I think let's leave the conversation there for now. It is going to be certainly an ongoing conversation with the investigation now underway. And I think for me, the important part is the way forward to work through these racial tensions and put them behind us to ensure that there is that unity, as you mentioned, especially considering that we are in a government of, national unity. Thank you so much, Zwakele Mncwango, for your time. That's from ActionSA.